This is it, the last game week of the FPL season. One last captaincy call, the last few transfers to make. Whatever happens on Sunday, that's it. Season over. I'm chasing my best ever FPL finish, and for the last game week, I might just take one last punt. So, let's get into this. Welcome back to the FPL Mowgs YouTube channel, and welcome to the last transfer plans video of the 25-26 season. If you enjoy FPL content, make sure you drop a like and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Of course, we're going to be making content for the rest of the FPL game week, but also for next season and in the next few weeks, World Cup fantasy content. I can't wait to play that game with you guys at home. But we're going to get into a review of how we're doing currently in game week 37. So far, so good, with Bruno Fernandes captain doing pretty well, Calvert-Lewin getting a return, but it was against my double Brighton defence, who of course both blanked Van Heck and Verbruggen. We're now on to the rest of the team who haven't played just yet. Arsenal play this evening against Burnley at home, and of course then Man City play Bournemouth away on Wednesday, with Chelsea playing Spurs at home on Wednesday as well, finishing off the game week 37. I'm really excited to see where this goes, because I'm at a rank where a good game week here puts me in good stead to finish the season with. But it could go pretty south pretty quick, and it's all to do with tonight. If Saka, if Gyökeres do really well this evening, maybe a goal or two and an assist between them, that could really drop my rank. And then it's up to the Chelsea and City assets to make up that deficit. I am praying they do nothing at all in this fixture. Get early subbed, start on the bench. I don't care what it is. I just don't want them to do well. Sorry if you guys own them at home, but I am desperate that they just stay quiet. Declan Rice, however, please go ahead and get me something. He is a good differential in my side. He's got a great fixture, plays 90 minutes. I'm just hoping he does something well in this game week. He always does something in like the occasional game week where he gets a goal and an assist or something, comes away with bonus. And I just hope it's this game week here. I do hope Gabriel stays a bit quiet as well. He's over 100% effective ownership in my team and at my rank. Who else is? Haaland, over 100% effective ownership. I hope he stays quiet as well. It's really all down to João Pedro, Enzo Fernandez especially, as a huge differential in my team, Cherki and O'Reilly. But so far for game week 37, we're doing good. I just hope it stays this way. Let's look now, though, at my transfer plans for game week 38, because there is a lot to cover. And this is currently how I'm lining up for the last game week of the FPL season. It's a bit sad to say, but here we are. I've got one free transfer to make, but this is currently how I'm lining up with no transfers made to the side. Petrovic, Senesi, Tavernier, Bournemouth triple up, a City triple up of O'Reilly, Cherki, Haaland, a double up on Arsenal of Gabriel and Rice, with Bruno Fernandes, Calvert-Lewin and João Pedro. You've got Verbruggen on the bench, Enzo Fernandez, Strike and Van Heck. Now, captaincy, I think, is really easy to decide. Of course, maybe if City don't beat Bournemouth, then they don't have much to play for. Therefore, Haaland could lose the captaincy armband. But right now, this is currently how I think things could go in the Premier League. And a lot of my team in transfers revolves around this thing of who's going to have something to play for, who's on the beach, and I don't really need to be targeting too much. It's kind of all around that, and that's how I've normally ended seasons anyway. So if we look at the Premier League table, now we're going to get into this here because we'll start at the bottom. I think this is the best way to do it. West Ham and Spurs. West Ham are, a good distance behind Spurs now. 2 points adrift. Loads of goal difference away. 22, minus 22 that is, to minus 9 for Spurs. If Spurs get a point against Chelsea, that's West Ham finished. Not mathematically, but the goal difference is a real big problem there. You're not going to overturn minus 22. Spurs, of course, if they win against Chelsea on Wednesday or draw, I think they're safe. And of course, if they win, they're definitely safe. But let's say Spurs lose, West Ham and Spurs both have something to play for. If Spurs draw or win, West Ham won't have anything to play for, and Spurs will be maybe on holiday mode. So that's kind of to watch out at the bottom of the table there. Crystal Palace, European commitments. I don't think they're going to care whatsoever what happens in that Arsenal game. It's going to be a B team. We've heard about rotation from Glasner all the time. He's actually sick of answering questions about rotation in his press conferences now. But I think when you get to 13th up, this 49-point mark, all of these teams all the way up here are in contention of European spots. And it's going to get really, really interesting on the last day to what could possibly happen. Fulham play Newcastle, of course, on the same points as Newcastle. You've then got Everton facing Spurs. Everton, of course, losing against my team, Sunderland, at the weekend. What a win for Sunderland that was, by the way. Shout out Brian Brobby for being the strongest man known in the universe. Just ridiculous what he did to Tarkowski. But anyway, you've got Chelsea, of course, facing Spurs in Wednesday, but they face my team, Sunderland, away from home on the last game of the season. Sunderland is the first team to hit 51 points here. Chelsea could do that with beating Spurs, of course, on Wednesday. And then you've got Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth. All of these teams have something massive to play for Europe next season. You come even further up here. Liverpool wanting to push up as well. That's going to be pretty big to hold off Bournemouth, of course, who still have a game against City. Because if they get some points against City, then Liverpool might be in trouble last game of the season. But then Brentford have got something to play for. Of course, if you come right to the top, this is the big one, the title race. I think Arsenal have won it, to be honest. But Bournemouth is their next game. If they win against Bournemouth, they're still in this title race. Goes down to the last game of the season, but Arsenal should get this over the line, really. They should beat Burnley tonight. They should beat Palace on the last game of the season to just get more points than Manchester City. So there are a lot of teams that have something to play for. There are some teams that are just on the beach and have like European commitments or are already relegated or have just nothing at all to play for because they're safe. I want to be targeting people who have something to play for. And what we'll do is we will get on to the planning tool and I'll kind of talk you through some of the moves I'm considering with my side. Currently this is how we're set up, but it could change even without any transfers made. Brighton, of course, losing at the weekend, that's massive. They still need points to get where they want to end up. So benching Senesi against Forest away from home. I think Forest could do well in the game just because it's a home fixture on the last game of the season. You know, putting on the show for the home support after staying up in the Premier League. So Van Heck could come in. Manchester United don't really have anything to play for apart from they just want to win every single game. Bruno Fernandes' assists record might come into play here as well. So playing for Brugge and Van Heck, I'm not opposed to massively whatsoever. It's really a flip of a coin between them. But I was on triple Brentford, triple Bournemouth to start the video off. Enzo Fernandez could come in. Tavernier could drop out. Sunderland away from home for Chelsea. Now on the last game of the season where both teams most likely will be on 51 points after Wednesday's results. That is going to be such an important game for Sunderland. I have been in the stadium when everything is on the line and Sunderland needs to get a result and they just find a way. Coventry in the semi-final. Also, Wembley, going to Wembley and watching them and just, you know, having the disallowed goal and then going on to win the game. We just have it in us to get a result from absolutely anyone in the Premier League. So having two Chelsea assets as a Sunderland fan coming into the last game of the season, it just doesn't feel optimal, not only from an FPL standpoint, but from me, myself as a Sunderland fan. So I think the first thing I'm thinking of to end the season, just with a bit of fun, is to go with Enzo Lefebvre. Spider-Man himself. If you didn't see his celebration against Everton, please go watch it. It is just absolutely hilarious. Puts on a Spider-Man mask and just does this to the camera. Ridiculous player. But he's been doing so well recently for Sunderland, and for the whole season, he's just such a good player. He's one of our best, if not our best player. I think ending the season with him would be such a vibe, and I really would like to do it. But from an FPL standpoint, can I promise myself that he's going to get loads of points against Chelsea? I don't quite think so. So I'm not sure I'm going to make that move. Another one, if the title's done, I think actually getting rid of Declan Rice isn't too bad and going for someone from Liverpool. We're looking most likely at a Cody Gakpo playing up front for Liverpool more than anyone, but in the situation when Alexander Isak might be back in the squad, could we see minutes reduced for Cody Gakpo? Szoboszlai is always just a nice pick to have. What I'm really interested by is actually Engamoa. Again, it comes to the issue, though, of minutes, especially with Wirtz coming back after that illness he had. Liverpool fans just absolutely love this guy. He's so direct. He's so good at football for being such a young player. He could be a really big differential for people to consider for the last game of the season. Brentford at home. Anfield, 1.4% owned. Like, that could be so fun to end the season with. And that really depends if Declan Rice has anything to play for, even though I think Palace will just put a terrible team out and focus on European football and just getting that final trophy. Another few moves I could consider: selling João Pedro. I think having 2 Chelsea assets is fine against Sunderland, but I think Sunderland will go ahead and get the 3 points in the fixture. Who else could we go for in the forward line? And for me, it's more so to do with the cheaper assets here. I'm looking at Welbeck against Manchester United, his old club. I think that could be a really good punt for the end of the season. Of course, he's a bit higher owned. Well, actually, he's 9% owned. I thought he was much higher than that. But still a decent shout to end the season with. I can just about afford Thiago as well. But Liverpool away, does that feel like a brilliant fixture? Who else was on my radar? There was one more player. Jared Bowen. If on that last day it comes down to them needing a win, Jared Bowen Leeds at home, it could be a decent one, but I think it will be done and buried on Wednesday if Spurs do something well, but it really depends what happens. Chris Wood isn't a bad shout either to end the season with. Being at home, putting on a show for the home support, like I said previously, I think it's a decent way to look at it. But yeah, across the forward line, there's not a lot of great options I love deeply. Richarlison was probably further down on the list, but worth a mention. Everton at home, his old club. Obviously, again, if it comes down to that last game of the season, he could be a really fun one to go for. But yeah, currently, I don't think anyone's really popping out as a must-buy player for Game Week 38, which is really sad. I think if I had to sort of set the team up and how I think things are going to play out, I would say I'm going to sell one of my Chelsea assets, and it would probably be João Pedro. And maybe I even just do this and just get Brian Brobby in just to end the season with as a Sunderland fan. That'll just be so fun. I'd love to do that. But captaincy, of course, right now is on Erling Haaland, and I think this is most likely how it would line up. But with one free transfer, I can have a punt. I can go for it. I can go for that top 100k finish I've been absolutely craving for. We just have to see how Game Week 38 goes, because if I'm in a really good spot and I'm somehow already in the top 100k, I'm going to have to go safe. I'm going to have to go boring just to hold on to that top 100k mark. But yeah, this is how we're lining up for Game Week 38 currently. Haaland captain. No transfers made. Ideally, I would like to get a Sunderland player, but I am so nervous for the game. I do think we can get it over the line, but yeah, I'll stop waffling now. Please let me know in the comments what you're doing for the final game week of the season. I'd love to know what your teams look like. But yeah, please in the comments, drop them down below. I'll reply to every single one. It is the last game week, of course, and we all want to get over the line in the best way possible. So I'm still going to be pumping out FPL videos to help you guys at home. So make sure you check in the channel throughout this week. If you enjoyed this video today, though, make sure you drop a like. And if you're still not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button for future FPL content and FPL streams. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.